Well, today is an adventure 2 years in the making. After being on the air 2 years, we're doing something that's kind of unique. This is our first live show.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, 2 years we've been on. Can you believe it?
Yes.
We got a shitload of episodes and a shitload of fans. And anyway, before I begin, let me introduce my panel here. To my left, Mr. Eric Cohen. To his left, Jeff Galashaw. And to his left, Mike Foltz. All right, well, in a second, we're going to display a number here for you to call in. We'd love you to call in. We know we have many viewers from all over the world here, hopefully, because there's many people can view us. I mean, any country in the world.
All over the world, Edwin. Come on.
Actually, I do know we have some fans from England. I do know that.
Nice.
Thanks to you, too.
We love the English. I love the English.
Anyway.
He literally loves the English.
Well, hell, you lived there, didn't you?
Yeah. No, he's screwing an English broad.
Thank you for bringing that to the attention of our entire viewing audience of 10 people. Anyway, Gloria, if you could be so kind to please display the live call-in number. I believe it is for those who are inclined to call. It is 212-757-1393. Is that correct?
Community Cop.
That's another show.
That's our first show topic.
See, the wonderful live world.
A very indie film called The Community Cop.
There we go. All right. All right. There's our number. 212-757-1393. Please call in. We won't bite. Just don't be a douche. Anyway, guys, let's talk. While we're waiting for our first call.
By saying not to be a douche, doesn't that encourage all of our callers to be douches?
Probably does, but hey, I used to call these shows in crank too. So hey. But anyway, let's while we're waiting for our first call, let's talk about what we've seen this last week, because this is a very impromptu show. So, Eric, what was your viewing of last week?
I saw a movie called Once, Edwin.
Once. Oh, the Irish film.
The Irish film. Yeah, it was excellent. Probably one of the best films I've seen this year, actually. Just to encapsulate, it's a very low-budget film. It's about a relationship that ensues between this Irish singer and this sort of songwriter female from Czechoslovakia. And it's just a platonic relationship.
She's from the Czech Republic or Slovakia? Because it's no longer Czechoslovakia.
Oh, that's right, the Czech Republic. Thank you for correcting me. The movie's a musical. And it's one of the first movies I've seen where the music actually helps tell part of the story. There's no dancing or singing out of left field.
It's not like Dreamgirls, though.
No, it's not like Dreamgirls, no. I read somewhere where someone was comparing it to Hustle and Flow, but it's nothing like Hustle and Flow.
So you say the music actually advances the plot.
The music actually advances the plot, and it also these are characters that can only express themselves through the music they write. And it's just a very clever way of sort of forwarding the story. And it's not like one of these from left field, oh, I feel like singing, let's sing. I mean, there's a logic to why they sing in certain spots. Like if they're rehearsing a song, they suddenly break into that song. And the music is really good. The star of the film, Glenn Hansard, was a frontman for an Irish band called The Frames. And
directed by NFL kicker John Carney.
No.
Well, it's directed by John Carney.
But not an NFL kicker.
Well, there's an NFL kicker named John Carney.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's his doppelganger, people, just to let you know.
But it was none of the actors are professionals. They're all musicians, and they do a bang-up job. I can't recommend this movie more. I saw this movie twice.
Twice already?
Yes, I did.
Good God, man. Well, I've been wanting to see it. I've been hearing, though, that the lines have been so long. In fact, I've been reading a lot of celebrities have been in line for this movie as well.
Well,
the
first time I saw it was all senior citizens.
Really?
I couldn't figure it out.
Well, hell, go figure.
But one of those senior citizens was the ghost of George C. Scott.
Where you're going with this, I don't know. I believe we do have a first call, do we not?
Hell, I was going to predict.
Put that through. I'm glad. Hey, we got a call. Put that through, and let's see who it is.
I hear a phone ring.
That's my cell phone, but I think they're calling the wrong number. Well, when they put that through,
first caller, Stella.
Just put it through whenever you can, people back there.
Did you have your cell phone on auto dial?
No, I don't, actually.
Speaking of George C. Scott, I saw a very strange DVD. It's not the DVD that I wanted to bring up in the first place, but I saw Petulia over the weekend. And I'm not sure if it was a good film or a terrible film. I was just very confused at the end of it.
Tell us about the film, Mike.
George C. Scott plays this very uptight doctor, and right from the get-go, the beautiful and talented Julie Christy immediately starts hitting on him at this party and wants to have an affair with this doctor really bad. And I just can't figure out what is going on because George C. Scott seems like the last person in the party that Julie Christy wants to have the affair with. Julie Christy also plays the title of the film, Petulia. and she's married to Richard Chamberlain, who's this most beautiful, perfect, spoiled rich boy, and I think, and as the film goes on, you understand why she so badly wants to have this affair with, what's his name? George C. Scott. But it's still a very strange film, and it's just interspersed. Richard Lester, the director of Hard Day's Night and Superman 2, has interspersed so many like weird little moments, and it was shot in the Haight-Ashbury area of
San Francisco. Right.
And I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was good or bad, but.
But before, I want to repeat the phone number because I know some people on the web are not able to view it.
A lot of blind people watching our film, so they need evidence.
It is, no, because on the web they're not able to see it. The number, in case you guys want to call in, is 212-757-1393. Again, that's 212-757-1393. All right, well, what I saw this weekend, and I know Jeff has seen this, so that's why I thought I'd bring it up. I saw the follow-up to Hostel 2, which actually...
Two bozos think.
Well, the thing is this, is that there was a big controversy about it. My friend was able to already have the movie a week before it premiered because it was available on the net. So I think that actually did a lot of damage to the movie. However, I decided to go support it, as did he, and we...
Because you're a big Eli Roth fan?
Not really. I just don't want to watch some bootleg with a time code blurred out, because of the spiteful actions of some employee. I am not the biggest Eli Roth fan. I think the guy's kind of a two-bit jerk, to be honest with you. He's full of himself. If you look at Grindhouse, he thinks he's the shit as an actor. And dude, you're not. Give it up.
Now, where's your T-shirt that says "I love torture porn"?
I don't like torture porn. I like horror. I like thinking man's horror. I like movies that allow the viewer to think. I don't need a movie where someone's just vomiting guts. I like horror films. I think one director could actually use gore to tell a story. Peter Jackson did a wonderful job of it in Dead Alive. Yes. I think George Romero does it better than anybody.
Sam Raimi did it really well with
exactly.
the movies.
I don't like people showing. I don't like people showing gore needlessly for no reason whatsoever other than to sicken you or disgust you. I like it to advance a story.
What do you like better, torture porn or J-horror?
What do you mean by that?
No, because those seem to be like two very, very popular forms of horror movies today, and I was just wondering what you...
Well, define Jade horror, actually. How would
The Grudge, like The Ring.
The J horror. I'm sorry, the J horror. Yes.
I thought I was talking about the Jewish horror.
No, Jade, like Oriental.
When
you J horror.
Like the Jewish Community Center.
Yeah, forget it. Anyway, but no, I don't care for J horror. Which
do you prefer, though, the torture porn or the J horror?
I don't want to watch torture porn, but I rather watch movies that have like a thriller aspect. I actually prefer. I don't want to say torture because I don't prefer either one of them to the other. I'm not a very big fan of J horror.
So what did you think of Hostel 2?
Hostel 2 is exactly the same movie as the first, except some minor differences that it's
women
told
instead of men, correct?
Yes, it is women instead of men. It's the exact same thing when you see it, except just try to imagine someone actually making a remake of Hostel a year later. Instead of having men, you have girls that go there, and of course there's a person who goes, "Oh, I've heard about this place. It's great to go to. Oh, let's go." Of course, that sets it up. However, there's a little interesting aspect to the movie, but there's not enough done with it, and when it's done, it's too late into the movie because of the first half. They tell it from the torturer's perspective.
Well, yes, that was the only thing I found that was inventive about the whole film. I personally liked Hostel 1. Hostel 2, I felt like I didn't know the characters, so I didn't really care about them at all.
Hello?
I don't think it was so much a remake as it was just maybe lazy filmmaking or lazy writing on the female characters, because I felt maybe since Eli Roth doesn't feel like he knows female characters, he didn't know how to write them, so he just made them cliche.
Oh, hello? Yes, we have a call. Yes, who is this?
My name is Angel. I want to make a comment on the show.
Yes,
please do. Please feel free. Go ahead. Don't tell me we've already lost our first caller.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Hostel 2. I'd like to ask what's going on with the movies today, that every movie is like a sequel, and
it's called unoriginality, Angel.
I'm not even sure what reason is there to go to the movies anymore. I mean, you'd rather, it'd be better if you just stayed home and rented the originals. I mean, Pirates 2, 3, Pirates.
Let them go.
All these sequels, Spider-Man 3, everything's a sequel.
All right, Angel. Here's my answer. You guys feel free, but I think it's two big problems here. One, studios are very, very lack a lot of imagination. They see that Hostel cost very little money to make, and like Saw, came out with a big profit. Thus, you can make Hostel 2 and get easily greenlit, and make this crappy sequel. Also, it just shows a real laziness on the part of Eli Roth's, that his follow-up to Hostel, which was, I guess, somewhat of a hit.
Hostel's a very big hit.
Well, he's now talking about doing, because of all the hype around the trailer he shot for Grindhouse, he's going to make a whole movie of fake trailers. Because
Of course, that's not going to get
and his wasn't even my favorite one. I mean, actually, I thought that was the best piece of film work I've seen him do.
I'll agree with you on that.
But it wasn't my favorite trailer.
I'd like to say something else before I go.
Please do.
You guys are talking about J-horror. There's also a lot of really good Spanish films, and I'd like to make one recommendation is Tombs of the Blind Dead. They have
I've seen Tombs of the Blind Dead.
Yeah, they have a collection out now.
It's in a coffin box. My friend actually worked on the supplements, and there's a lot of great lobby cards and extras. It's a very interesting series. I just think that it's kind of dated by the pace of the 70s.
It's also interesting, too.
Well, I highly recommend it.
Peter
Wait,
Jackson.
Angel, I have a quick question for you. Going back to the sequel thing, did you see any of the sequels that came out this past year?
No, I'm waiting for them to come out on DVD like millions of other people.
Save your money and use your Netflix, right?
That's right.
Damn right. Well, I'll recommend a movie to you.
Jackson stole,
Okay.
I'll recommend one to you.
Tombs of the Blind
There's a
Dead
movie you're going to
from
love
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
called Would You Kill a Child, which is about to come out on DVD within the next few weeks. It's one of the best horror films ever made, I think. It came from Spain. It's basically the story of... you've seen Children of the Corn, correct?
Yes, I have.
Well, try to imagine Children of the Corn done as in the Blind Dead style. It's a superb movie. I highly recommend it. But to further just answer your question about sequels, I think the thing about a sequel...
Other people might want to call in.
It's a guaranteed hit, and they have marketing tie-ins and everything, and why take a risk on something that's not proven profitable in the past? All right, thank you, Angel, for your call.
Thanks, Angel.
Okay, you guys have a great
Thank you,
show.
Angel.
Thanks for
Thank
calling
you.
in, and thanks for being our first caller. Yeah, that was great. But what do you think about the sequels today? Have you seen any sequels that you like? Because today sequels do not outperform.
The Grudge
originals.
2. I thought The Grudge 2 was fantastic. It was actually legitimately scary. I thought it was better than The Grudge 1. I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but it was actually a chilling ghost story, and I've seen a lot of friggin' ghost stories, man. So
There's a rare occasion where a sequel is much better. I mean, I thought Spider-Man 2 was better than Spider-Man 1.
I was just surprised that a PG-13 film could be scary nowadays, and sure enough, I thought it pulled it off. It had some chills.
I think one film that's actually better than the original now is, of course, Aliens. It's a great sequel.
Alien and Aliens are just so two different films.
But that's what I like about it, is that it's a sequel that does not retread the original.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's better than the original. I would just say it was a great sequel.
Well, it's like The Godfather 2. You have to see the first
And
one
Empire
to really
Strikes Back, I
understand.
think, is better than Star Wars.
I will agree with that's one I can agree with you on, and one more I can agree with you on. The new cut of Superman 2 by Richard Donner, which I think is amazing improvement over the one that came out, and it's actually better than Part 1, I think. I love the new Superman Donner cut. Oh, we have another call.
Holy crap.
Wow, we're getting calls in here. I guess we got some
going on?
fans.
I thought we weren't going to get any. What the
All right,
hell's
we'll
going
put
on?
on our next call. Let's see who's calling in now.
Hello?
Well, whenever we hear a voice, we'll just answer it.
Yeah, just start screaming hello. Or F you, or whatever you want.
I think I heard something. Is somebody there?
I heard a cat purring.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
Hey.
what's up?
All right, what's your name?
Don.
Don, what's your question, man?
I want to ask about.
Uh-oh, we're getting a bad reception here, I think.
Ask your question again, Don. I think you cut out.
Oh, well, don't worry. Just call.
Hello?
Oh, there you
Hello,
go.
Don.
Now you're back. Okay.
Ask away.
Somebody else.
Okay, who is this?
Hey, this is Richard. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Richard. This is my good buddy, Richard Christy of the Howard Stern fame. This guy is a #1 horror fan that I know. He should be the fifth. You're here in spirit, Richard.
What's that?
You're here in spirit right now.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I love the guy that commented on the Spanish horror a while ago. Those are some of my favorite movies, too.
Yeah, Tomb of the Blind Dead and such. Although Edwin said they're outdated, so
I don't
you
think
can
they're outdated.
curse-
I love Spanish horror. I just don't.
He said
I
he
think-
doesn't like Spanish people.
Isn't Let's
Oh, what the hell? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Isn't Let Sleeping Corpses Lie technically a Spanish film?
Now that is a co-production with English and Italian. I think it's perhaps the best zombie film not made by Romero. It's a masterpiece. Highly recommend
You
it.
know another great Spanish film. Have you guys seen The Beast?
Oh, you mean oh God, what's his name? I can't think of his
It's like
name.
a long-haired heavy metal guy, and it's a priest, and they're trying to stop
Day
Satan.
of the Beast.
Day of the Beast
Day of
by
the Beast.
Alex
Yeah,
D.
the Beast,
Iglesias.
That's it. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yes, it
I
is.
love where the priest actually has to commit sins to actually summon the devil, I believe.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but just from that description, I want to see that now.
Oh,
Well,
it's
Richard,
amazing.
there's one that I would like you to see. There was one I was just talking about, is Would You Kill a Child, which I think is an amazing film where these two English tourists go to a Spanish island, and it's inhabited by just children who have supernatural powers and have killed all the adults on the island.
Kind of like a Spanish version of Village of the Damned.
But it's better. You have to see it. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. It's definitely one of the best Spanish horrors that no one's ever heard of. It's the first time it's ever been released in America. So.
Did you guys see 28 Weeks Later? I thought for a sequel it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we reviewed it, I think.
That I don't think
recently.
that episode
That
has
hasn't aired yet, but you'll see it next
No.
week,
I didn't
hopefully.
see it.
Next week's episode, Rich, and everybody else that watches our show, you've got to see next week's episode is going to be Diseases and the Apocalypse. And we're going to talk about 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, the Omega Man, and Andromeda Strain. And basically, to cap off what I thought about 28 Weeks Later is, I thought the first one was better. It seemed to have more of an original bent. I liked the where 28 Weeks Later was going. I just felt that the whole zombie GPS thing with Robert Carlyle being able to seek out and hide wherever he could, be an intelligent guy with rage and have like his family pictures and show up at the most opportune moments was incredibly far-reaching. I
thought it was better, except that some of the plot holes just drove me absolutely apeshit. I will say the first half of 28 Days Later is perhaps the best of the two movies. However, as a whole, the second movie is stronger, in spite of all the plot holes.
I like the second one, but I thought it was relentlessly grim. I mean, I like grim horror films. So
I agree.
I just thought it just went to a point where I didn't care about the kids. You know, I thought
I
they
actually
just kept
hated the kids.
doing stupid things, and I did have the problem with the zombie GPS.
What about you? Did you see
I
it?
would talk about it more, but I have not seen the film.
Or did you like the first one?
I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a good piece of filmmaking. I liked the first 20 minutes when I didn't know what was going on exactly. And then as the story started picking up, it kind of went a little lower, but I enjoyed the film.
I thought the second one was stronger. And in fact, I loved one thing, like you said, the grim aspect of the second one is what I loved. I loved that it's like, whoa, this person died. Holy shit. Real life sucks.
Well,
People die.
I like the idea of that, but I thought the first one had more humanity or something to it, where I really felt for the characters. Whereas this one, everything happened so quickly that I don't recall a single character that I felt. I like the American soldier character.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Mr.
sniper.
Dahmer. Mr. Dahmer.
Right, and I enjoyed him. I'm not sure I cared about anybody else.
I just
but
felt
I thought it was very well directed.
I thought it was pointless to bring the mom back. Just have Robert Carlyle gouge her eyes out on the table. There was
Lazy writing.
There was no catharsis in there whatsoever.
So anything else, Richard, you like us to talk about? I mean, I appreciate you calling in. It's an honor. I'm a fan. In fact, I just watched you on Howard TV streaking in front of the entire audience of the Stern Studio. So.
Oh, good for you.
I think Richard's gone.
Well, Richard, thanks for the call in.
If anybody has any films to recommend on streaking, we would be more than happy to discuss them.
Yes, with the bikini body wax.
I saw a very interesting film on DVD that my cohort over here, Jeff Galashaw, recommended called Hardcore, a Greek film about two very comely prostitutes. And if you don't know the word comely out there, it means really, really smoking hot. Two Greek prostitutes who decide that halfway through the film that they want more from their lives than just be drug-addled prostitutes. And they decide to take revenge on their pimp and go for a life of using fame to their benefit. And the film's okay. It's relentlessly grim. The director shows some imagination, but just to see it for the two lead actresses.
But is this like a Thelma Louise? Is it like what that
kind
French
of
film
Thelma and
with the
Louise
with the
like?
two- is it-
Oh,
there's
Secret Things.
No, not Secret. Well, Secret Things, but there's that other movie. It was I forgot the French name. The American translation was "Fuck Me."
Oh,
Base
Base Moi.
Yeah, it sounds like it's that.
It's not as hardcore as Base
really?
Moi. Yeah.
Gloria,
But Base Moi is a
transfer
porno.
Transfer any calls that come in. Just put them over there, and we'll talk to them. Because I thought I saw you had another call for us. But Basme, now what's this film Hardcore? Where did you see this? Is it out now?
It was a DVD. I had one friend recommend it, then weeks later Jeff recommended it. So
It sounds a lot like a movie that my friend just put out called Singapore Sling, which is a Greek film with these two sisters who kill someone. It's a very unique little film. Highly recommend you guys check that out.
well, if you like, nudity, and hot chicks. Not necessarily if you like. I guess if you like prostitutes, I don't know, but just hot chicks that are
The film
naked.
can use as many viewers as it can get.
It's
so
not-
if you like viewers.
Also, the French film
prostitutes,
Secret
they'll
Things has two of the hottest actresses. They're French, but two of the hottest French actresses you've
I gotta
ever
tell you,
seen.
it's a terrible
Fully
film.
nude.
It's
Secret
really
Things.
bad. I saw it and I thought it was awful.
Is it one?
But
is it
you
one
don't
spank
see
up?
it for the movie.
It's a Zalman King film. I mean,
Zalman King, are you fucking kidding?
You just see it
recommending
for.
me a Zalman
I'm just
King
recommending
movie?
it for the two French women that are so gorgeous and completely naked.
God.
you got cable, you can watch it on Cinemax. It's about the same. kind of
Maybe.
film.
More
Skinamax.
about these
You
two
saw it.
particular
I
ladies.
did, because based on your recommendation, I thought it was going to be something really good, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" film?
Yeah, I don't think the story was that great.
Oh, God, finally, you're
the
honest
women
about
were
it.
really hot. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
That's the part you liked about it.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Hey.
My name is Pete. I just want to say I really like you guys. You
Thanks,
guys have
Pete.
a really good show.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to, you were talking about sequels. I think one of the best sequels I've seen was The Devil's Rejects.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
couldn't agree with you more, Pete. Awesome.
Great
Edwin's
choice.
disagree.
So I'm getting into this. If you want to see
Screw
my,
him.
if you want to see my comments, you can view them on our YouTube page, which hopefully our wonderful
Wait, I
director
got to
will
get
put
into
that.
this. You liked House of a Thousand Corpses better?
I
than
didn't
Devil's
really care
Rejects?
for either one of them, to be honest with you. I think Rod Zombie as a director really sucks. In fact, I think his Halloween sequel is a bastardization. In fact, I read the script for Halloween, okay?
I don't disagree with you from what I've heard about that.
They
and
send
I'm
a
not fan
10-year-old
of House of
kid.
Thousand
They
Corpses,
send a
but I love
10-year-old
Devil's
kid to the
Rejects.
death. They give him the death penalty for committing a murder. It's just like the death penalty did not exist for children 10 years old in 1970 or whenever when the movie's supposed to take place. Also, after, it's just
In Madrid.
well, not in Haddonfield, Illinois. But I'm not a fan of Rob Zombie at all. I'm sorry. I mean, if you like, we were talking earlier about the trailers from Grindhouse. You asked me. I honestly think that the trailer for Grindhouse his is the worst. It's too silly. And the reason that those movies were so enjoyable before is that they were taken seriously and it was campy. He intentionally was campy, and he just does not know how to direct that sort of thing.
Did you see Grindhouse?
Oh, I did see Grindhouse.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed the film. I agree with his comment, and I also felt that it proved maybe that Robert Rodriguez isn't the quality of director that he thinks he is. I'll admit, he does work hard. If you read all these articles and you see him at work, he does try, but it's just like when you're...
Guys, I got a question for you.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is this Pete still?
No, this is Don Garisco.
Oh, hey, Don.
Don. Hey,
Hey,
Don.
Don.
Oh,
This,
is
is,
this-
this is my friend Don Garisco. He actually writes for me, and he's a
Your
fan of our
friend?
show.
Then his
He
friend.
is my friend.
Yeah, I just had a couple of personal favorites that I wanted to ask about, see if any of you guys had seen them and what your thoughts were. The first is Big Wednesday.
The surf
Oh,
film.
yes.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a while.
That is the John Milius
Yeah, I saw
film.
it a while
Well, I'm a
ago. I
John
don't remember
Milius
it that
fan.
much.
I love John Milius. That guy he can do absolutely no wrong. Red Dawn is a terrible film, yet I can watch it
you
over
love
and
Red
over
Dawn.
and over and over again. I can quote Red Dawn.
But you have a crush on Powers Booth.
And yeah, I do. And his Conan the I will go on record by saying his Conan the Barbarian is one of my 10 favorite films of all time.
Well, yes, Mike could actually prove it. He's actually did a whole show almost quoting the entire Conan vernacular.
I don't know how, well, okay. Anyway, Don, what's another film?
Oh, another film, Electra Glide in Blue.
Oh, God, the Robert Blake cop movie.
God, he just mentioned two films I've seen a long time ago.
Same thing.
I have not, I've
That
heard
was a
that
film
film.
that was
a
like
bunch.
rated X when it
Revisiting
first
if you
came
haven't
out because
seen
he
it
did
in a
like a
while.
full frontal nude scene.
Yeah.
Robert Blake, full
You're not
frontally
selling this
nude.
film.
I'm
Well,
actually
maybe.
not going to see this film. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I want to see
By the
it.
way, Mike, I just had a comment for you. I wanted to congratulate you on wearing long pants.
It was too cold, Don. I had to, man.
Thank you.
My legs are not
Thanks
that
for
pasty
saying.
in person. It's the lights. That's my lame
We
excuse.
can't even white balance his knees. So
Yeah.
Guys, I just have one more. This is Pete again. I just have one
Hey,
more
Pete.
film to remind you of. There was a movie I called The Descent.
The Descent.
Yeah.
Not
we-
that crazy
we
about
actually,
that film. I liked his first film a lot better.
If you're interested, we actually did a show on
Yeah.
underground horrors, and we did review The Descent in depth. It's actually on YouTube, and you can do a search on CineFiles, which is Gloria. If you could be so kind to put up those pages, you can actually see the show. We actually talked about that, My Bloody Valentine, and unfortunately, we forgot the #1 underground horror, which is Chud, which I get a lot of shit for, but
which I like Chud.
I do
I
like
liked Chud at the time too. I saw it on cable when I was like 12, but I loved it.
There you go. See right down there is our addresses for the for our pages, and you can there see more information. Friend us, and subscribe and you'll be alerted. But yeah, there's some past shows, and you can see what our opinions are on some of those movies.
Don't you think that? Yes.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Oh, who's this?
Who is this?
Sure, this is Alan.
Hey, Alan. How are you?
Thank you for calling in. Do you have a comment or a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what do you guys feel about the, I don't know if you've seen it, that television series that John Lurie put together in the early 90s, the Fishing with John series?
Love
that
it.
show.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. The
William
best one is
Dafoe
Willem
episode.
Dafoe.
Yeah, the William Dafoe episode is
Holy
one of the greatest
shit.
moments of TV
Oh
ever.
my God. Cheese and cheese. Cheese and cheese.
Do
And
you guys
when,
think they were stoned the entire time?
maybe when Willem Dafoe is sitting talking about how much he wants a Pizza Hut pan pizza, and then Dennis Hopper has the best line
Dennis
of the
Hopper
whole
was
series
great.
when he's sitting there shooting pool, and John Lurie is talking in his ear the whole time, and finally Dennis Hopper just goes, "You know something? I don't know what you're saying, but I agree with you." And I've used that line before. It's one of the greatest lines of all.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Hey, it's Richard again.
Hey, Rich.
Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I have two more quick points.
Yes, sir.
You said you're doing a show on the apocalypse movies?
Yeah. Diseases in the apocalypse.
Yeah, my three favorite apocalypse movies are all by John Carpenter. The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness.
That's my favorite. My two favorite films are The Thing and Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness, I think, is John Carpenter's most underrated film. In fact, I consider it a masterpiece.
I do
The
too.
critics
It's
are really
brilliant
up.
because I don't know how he wrote that script knowing so much about physics. Like the stuff they explain is just mind-boggling in that script. It is definitely a brilliant movie.
Rich, if you like that, you gotta check out the Quatermass.
Better yet,
series.
Richard, check out any film written by Nigel Neal.
Yeah.
6 million
who,
miles to Earth.
Carpenter's
That's who
greatly
they
influenced by.
basically- Yeah, that's who he was inspired by for that.
Well, Richard, thank you for calling in, and I'll send you a list through your MySpace page.
Thanks, guys, for calling in.
Guys,
Thanks again, Richard.
Take it easy, Rich.
Okay,
I'll see you on Thursday. Oos.
okay. Oops.
All right, everybody. Good night. Second, we're going to display a number here for you to call in. We'd love you to call in. We know we have many viewers from all over the world here, hopefully, because there's many people can view us. I mean, any country in the world.
All over the world, Edwin. Come on.
Actually, I do know we have some fans from England. I do know that.
Nice.
Thanks to you
We
too.
love the English. I love the English.
Anyway,
he literally loves the English.
well, hell, you lived there, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, he's screwing an English broad.
Thank you for bringing that to the attention of
Not
our entire
English.
viewing audience of 10 people. Anyway, Gloria, if you could be so kind to please display the live call-in number. I believe it is for those who are inclined to call. It is 212-757-1393. Is that correct?
Community Cop.
That's another show.
That's our first show topic.
See, the wonderful live world.
A very indie film called The Community Cop.
There we go. All right. All right. There's our number, 212-757-1393. Please call in. We won't bite. Just don't be a douche. Anyway, guys, let's talk. While we're waiting for our first call,
By saying not to be a douche, doesn't that encourage all of our callers to be douches?
probably does. But hey, I used to call these shows. Well, today is an adventure 2 years in the making. After being on the air 2 years, we're doing something that's kind of unique. This is our first live show.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, 2 years we've been on. Can you believe it?
Yes.
We got a shitload of episodes and a shitload of fans. And anyway, before I begin, let me introduce my panel here. To my left, Mr. Eric Cohen. To his left, Jeff Galashaw. And to his left, Mike Foltz. All right, well, and this is crank too, so hey. But anyway, let's while we're waiting for our first call, let's talk about what we've seen this last week, because this is a very impromptu show. So, Eric, what was your viewing of last week?
I saw a movie called Once, Edwin.
Once. Oh, the Irish film.
The Irish film. Yeah, it was excellent. Probably one of the best films I've seen this year, actually. Just to encapsulate, it's a very low-budget film. It's about a relationship that ensues between this Irish singer and this sort of songwriter